good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, you thirsty bunch of beer drinkers, whenever and wherever you're tuning in from. And thank you for tuning in and supporting a pure Canadian podcast. I'm Troy Birch with Great Lakes, Ontario's local brewery, and a fiercely independent craft brewery at that, based right here in glorious Etobicoke. And whether you're a seasoned connoisseur, a homebrewing enthusiast, into Ontario beer history, or just someone who enjoys some good old breezy beer banter, Between Two Fermenters, a podcast brought to you by GLB, is your go-to deep dive for all things beer from an insider perspective. If you can, please subscribe to the pod, and ratings and reviews are always appreciated. Yeah, we've been busy over the last month, recording and releasing 3 straight pod episodes. Matt Tweedy from Tooth and Nail, Stephen Beaumont, who's Canada's beer writer, Patty Tracy, founder of Northern Lines. It says lights on my sheet here, but that's not correct. Founder of Northern Lines, a Toronto-based company specializing in draft line cleaning and installs. They are all below this episode, and I hope that you've had a chance to dive into those conversations because they've been some pretty good ones. But all right, we have a bit of a different episode for you today. It's a shorter one that features the voices of a number of GLB staff, which is exciting. An episode dedicated solely to one beer in one big day. We're taking you to the lake, where sunshine, hops, and good vibes come together in a can of pure refreshment. It's almost like I worked in marketing at one point. That's right. We're talking about Sunnyside Session IPA and our big province-wide celebration of this amazing beer, Sunny Day. I'll be taking you on a little journey first, though, sharing the history of the brand and how it came to be. I'll also be introducing you to Roland Baggetts, the lovely little fella on the label. Actually, he's going to introduce himself today. We're going to discuss the name, the beer itself, and answer some frequently asked questions about the beer. I'll then be joined by Sharla Paino, the content marketing manager for GLB. She'll be here as well and providing some information about Sunny Day, that province-wide celebration I mentioned, which is scheduled for Friday, April 4th. Sharla will tell you what it's all about, why we're doing it, letting you know how you can get involved, and why this GLB favorite has become a go-to for patio season, beach days, and beyond. And to wrap up the pod, you'll hear from a number of GLB staff who answer a number of questions about this glorious beer. Now, here at GLB, if you've listened to this, you know we're all about social responsibility. But if you're into this, there's a fun drinking game associated with this episode. Take a drink every time the word Sunnyside is mentioned. You're in for a ride. Okay, all that in a moment. Hang tight. We'll be right back with Roland Baggetts, Sharla Paino, and the story of Sunnyside.
Supporting local is more important than ever. Grab your morning coffee from a local cafe. Purchase fresh bread from your local bakery. Visit your neighborhood mom and pop shop or visit their online store. Secure your lunch or dinner from a bar or restaurant on your block. Local business needs your love, your support. Prop up your neighbors, man. Shop local. Your purchases, that money, it stays within your community. Now crack a beer as a reward, because you deserve it, and so do they. Supporting local never tasted so good. A kind message from your friends at Great Lakes Brewery. GLB. Brewed for you, Ontario.
So what do I want to do? I want to start this podcast episode by just a little bit of talking about a little bit of the history of Sunnyside Session IPA before it became the province's most popular seasonal. And it started as just an idea. And to tell the story, we have to go back to 2015. It was a busy year for GLB. Canuck Pale Ale was in full flight at the LCBO. For only $2.50 a can, I might add. Devil's Pale Ale 666 was being phased out to make way for Pompous Ass English Ale. And seasonal brands like Karma Citra IPA, Thruston IPA, and many more Tank 10 series beers were starting to make regular appearances. And we were named the Canadian Brewery of the Year 2 years in a row. So we were just coming off that. And also a fun fact, Octopus Wants to Fight IPA was brewed for the first time in 2015. And at the brewery, Mike Lackey, our brewing operations manager, but at that time, he was the guy who just literally slept beside the pilot system. He was putting in his 10,000 hours, honing his craft, experimenting, perfecting, and developing world-class beers. Meanwhile, over on the Danforth, not Moxie, Fabian Skidmore, a familiar face at the only cafe on the Danforth, was freelancing as a graphic designer, and GLB was his main client. Fabian started designing a label. It wasn't for an existing beer or one that was coming soon, but it was for something that hadn't even been brewed yet. It was a beer that was just an idea, and that idea belonged to Lackey, a session IPA, bright, crisp, and packed with flavor. He had a name in mind too, Sunnyside, a nod to the Sunnyside Pavilion on Toronto's western lakeshore, a place of history, lots of sun, and summer memories. Over the years, Sunnyside made a few appearances here and there, trickling out of the 70-liter pilot system, but it was never canned, never fully realized until 2015. That's when the team got serious, refining the recipe, crafting the brand, and preparing to make its mark. Then, in 2016, everything came together and it happened. The Summerhill LCBO held the official launch of Sunnyside Session IPA, and it was a packed house. People were genuinely excited to try this new offering from GLB, a light yet flavorful session IPA, a style that at the time wasn't being offered. Roland Baggetts was introduced to the public. Again, more on him later. And from that moment on, it just took off. From a simple idea to a summer essential, Sunnyside Session IPA is a testament to time, passion, and a love for great beer. So a lot of people out there, a beer just doesn't miraculously come. It takes a lot of time perfecting and tweaking and modifying until everyone's happy. And same with the label artwork. We had a couple different labels floating around back in the day until we settled on Roland Baggetts and the Sunnyside Pavilion arches. It's a beer that the staff here at Great Lakes get pumped up about each spring. So there it is. That's the Coles notes, not the scientist Cole, but that's the Coles notes of Sunnyside. So next time you crack one open, which you should be now, think of the journey, the late nights and the long days Lackey spent in the brew house, the early sketches of Roland Baggetts in the can artwork, and Sunnyside helped welcome Ontario drinkers to session IPAs. So one of the things we get asked a lot about Sunnyside is, where did the name come from? I have alluded to the Sunnyside Pavilion, but and that's the true story. Lackey and Peter Bullitt both grew up in South Swansea, a neighborhood in the West End here in Toronto. So they basically lived in Rennie Park, High Park, and Sunnyside Beach during their youth, around Sunnyside Beach. They'd screw around on their bikes all summer long. There was some, as they got older, there was bonfires down at the beach. I don't think they'd get away with that now, but there is drinking and just, the regular teenage hangouts down at Sunnyside. So they both thought it was appropriate and a nice tribute to what they think is the best part of the city during the summer. In the Sunnyside Pavilion, for those of you that know in Toronto, for those that don't, I'm going to tell you what it's all about. It's an historic waterfront landmark located on the shores of Lake Ontario in the western part of Toronto. Originally built as part of the Sunnyside Amusement Park in 1922, it was designed in the Beaux Arts style by architect Alfred Chapman, and it served as a social hub for dining, dancing, and entertainment during the early 20th century. As the label indicates, it was a very popular swimming destination for West Toronto and Etobicoke residents. I remember seeing pictures of bathing bus would take kids streetcars and bring them to Sunnyside Beach so they could cool off in the summer and have baths. Today, Sunnyside Pavilion operates as a seasonal cafe, event space, and if you've never been there, you go in and stand. It's got some awesome views of Lake Ontario, and that, like I said, connection to Toronto's rich history. And it remains a popular destination for locals and visitors alike, with weddings and private events, community gatherings. But the best fact about the pavilion is that it now has a beer named after it. And talking about the beer, I'm just going on this big ramble here before we introduce Sharla, our content marketing manager. So let's talk about the beer for a second. It's a beer that Lackey says it keeps you coming back for the next gulp. And as I took my first gulp of Sunnyside, it was canned just the other day, and it's going to be released at LCBOs now. So if you're listening to this now, it's out there in the market. But Charlie's going to tell you about the big release on April 4th for Sunny Day in a little bit. It was brewed for easygoing days and long afternoons. The IPA, the Session IPA, is bursting with bright citrus, juicy tropical fruit, and just the right amount of hop bitterness to keep things crisp. It's light, it's flavorful, and it's got all the character of a full-bodied IPA, just dialed down to a smooth 3.9%. So you can soak it up. You can soak up every sip without really slowing down your day. And let me It's a perfect beer for recording podcast, eh? Mike Boone behind the mic there.
It's my go-to beverage of the summer.
As it is for a lot of Ontario residents. It looks beautiful in your glass, too, as a lovely summer day down at the Sunnyside Beach. Gaze into the sun to get an idea of the color of this unfiltered, brilliant gold and hazy, tasty treat, which is protected by a snowy head, reminiscent of white caps rolling on Lake Ontario. Back in the day when we were writing tasting notes, I think we were doing them when we had a lot in our system, because they're pretty creative here. The citrus aromas leap from the glass with each gentle swirl. Lemon is the most prominent, followed by pineapple and a touch of grapefruit. It's so aromatic that you'll want to forego the sunscreen and apply generously to your person. Light body, juicy and refreshing, the same aromas make their way onto the palate, which are elevated due to the soft carbonation and mouthfeel. This is a big, long tasting note, and this is what I'm here for. I love these long notes. A dry finish with lingering pineapple notes. Sunnyside has all the flavors of a big GLB IPA packaged into a remarkably drinkable session ale. Terrific for the backyard, the beach, with friends, in the shower before a big night out. Or, as Roland says, this is how he describes the beer. So those were our tasting notes back in the day. But Roland Baggetts, who I'm going to introduce you to in a second, we asked him years ago what are his tasting notes, and he says, it's big on the taste, low on the alcohooky haul. And then we asked him for some food pairing recommendations. And Sharla, I don't know if you know this, but he says cotton candy from the Sunnyside Pavilion, turbo rockets and soft serve ice cream from the Dickie D cart on the boardwalk, or go big and pair with some Lake Ontario fish tacos.
I can see that.
Pretty good pairing.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're really serious, he says lobster rolls.
Oh, yeah.
So with that, let me introduce you to Roland Baggetts, the friendly fella on the label. Here he is.
Well, how's ya doodle? Roland Baggetts here, rolling solo down here at Sunnyside Beach. I likes to get here nice and early to grabs me some prime sandy real estate. I lays out me towel, slather myself liberally with tannin butter, and soak in some tasty vitamin D. Speaking of tasty, looky in me cooler box. A whole gaggle of Sunnyside Session IPA. Big on the taste, low on the alcohol. A springtime, summertime, anytime treat, and a permanent staple in the grips of me fingers. Oh, and check out the can to see a brand new me. Been lifting some iron to boost me biceps, triceps, and me deltoids. You know what they say, sun's out, guns out. Work your tan and crack a can of Sunnyside Session IPA.
Yeah, there you go. He's quite the fella. For example, I once asked him about his on and off again relationship with Gordy Levesque. Do you know he has a relationship with Gordy Levesque and Sir Fuggle Doublebottom?
I didn't.
Well, he does. They're the characters on the Canuck Pale Ale and the Pompous Ash English Ale cans, respectively. And this is what he had to say when I asked him about his relationship with them. He said, well, them boys are a rowdy bunch. Gordy is a character that I can have a beer or two with. But that Doublebottom fella, well, he's a pompous ass I don't see eye to eye with. We once went to a bush party. You know, the ones in the backfield with a fire and some country music cranked from an old dusty pickup truck. And Gordy and me, we were having a rollicking good time with some Canuck Pale Ale, some marshmallows, and a bunch of fireworks, when Doublebottom started mouthing off to some bulbous-shaped torso guy. Well, that led to a big round of fisticuffs. And he kind of just ended it there. And I said, well, I need you to elaborate. And he said, oh, I'm not going to elaborate. I don't want to do that. But let's just say that Doublebottom took one of my sandals to his giant noggin, and that bulbous-shaped lad, I think his name was RoboHop or something, he put that pompous ass in his place. The rumor is they made up over cans of Sunnyside Session IPA. So the beer does bring people together, as you can tell. And let's pivot over now to some FAQs, some recent or frequently asked questions. And Sharla, you handle, I haven't even really introduced you to the show yet, but you might as well come on.
Hi.
Sharla was on, I think you were on episode 2 of Between Two Flavors.
It was the second episode.
The second episode. Yeah. So welcome back. So what is it that you do at Great Lakes? What is a content marketing manager?
Well, basically, I create content in the marketing team.
Did you want a beer before we go on?
I thought you'd never ask.
Okay. Here's a fresh Sunnyside package just the other day.
Nice.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, back to content marketing manager.
Great. Yeah. So I basically create content. I'm doing reels, taking photos, writing, copy, doing newsletters, posting on social media, answering people on social media.
Well, that's what I wanted to get at. So you're answering people. And we get a lot of questions about Sunnyside every year. What's the number one question that you think, just off the top of your head, that you get?
Oh, number one question is, are we ever going to brew it year round?
Well, that's the first one on my list. How come Sunnyside isn't a year-round brand? It should be. I don't know how many times we get asked that question. But the simple answer is that we don't want it to be. It's just it's a decision we've made years ago. We want to keep it as a seasonal brand. It allows us to play with other brands, keep new styles and characters, create new styles and characters.
And it's like it's a mark of summer. Like it's just like a kind of a
it's we want to welcome it back. Like the whole province is coming out of the doldrums of winter, and we want things are in sprout, and Sunnyside is back. It just perks everyone up.
It is an extended seasonal.
It is, too. Yeah. That said, keeping it seasonal, it's like 6 months. It comes out at the end of March, and it usually goes till September. Sometimes we do a couple extra batches just for kegs and just for the tap room because it's so popular. But it keeps things fun and exciting to keep it as a 6-month brand. And if you're into session IPAs, our fighting weight will be around from October to April in 2025, 2026. So,
which is delicious also.
So some breaking news there about fighting weight. The other question we get asked a lot about from the real beer nerds is, what hops are used in Sunnyside Session IPA? And now I asked Lackey, things have changed a little bit over time, just with the availability of hops and where they come from and all that. But we use Citra, Cascade, and Mosaic, just 3 in Sunnyside, and Citra is the most predominant one. And now this is a weird one. Do you ever get asked this question? Because we used to get asked this question a lot, as I think people were trying to be funny, but they would ask to Roland Baggetts, who we just heard from, what is your preferred sunscreen brand and what makes it stand out amongst the others? Do you ever know what he said?
Roland?
Yeah, Roland.
Yeah, he said that he would rub Sunnyside.
Yeah. His answer was sunscreen. That's for fools. I take me a bit of Sunnyside Session IPA and lather it to me hairy legs and weathered biceps. Not only does it smell extremely good, but the seagulls flock to me, which provides some good company out at the sea. So that is Roland Baggetts being cheeky with our customers. And as the content marketing manager, like you said, you get a lot of questions. Is there any other question that you get a lot about Sunnyside?
I get a lot of people wondering where they can find Sunnyside.
Instead of them just going to the website and searching it out, I'll answer for them. So then we have this and we'll put it out to the world. Sunnyside, when it drops, it goes to LCBOs across the province. So there's a lot of stores. It goes from as far north as Kenora to the Toronto Islands to Windsor, Niagara to Ottawa. So everywhere in between, we got you covered in Ontario. Mm-hmm. This year, we're also really excited because it's a seasonal listing for a 6-month window with the beer store. Woo. So we're going to be pumping out a lot of Sunnyside to a lot of beer stores right across the province as well. And then also more good news, it's going into some grocery stores and convenience stores this year. So that's pretty cool.
It's everywhere.
We're trying our best to get it everywhere. So we've talked about the beer. We've talked about Roland Baggetts. We've talked about how it came to be. If you're still tuning into this episode because it's just me talking and Sharla talking, we want to tell you about Sunny Day.
Let's talk about Sunny Day. This
is something that we have wanted to do at the brewery for so many years. When we launched this beer officially in 2016, it was May 14th. I don't know how I remember that date so clearly in my head, but it was May 14th, 2016. We launched it at the LCBO, Summerhill, Midtown Toronto. And they had just opened up their Growler Stop. It's not station. Growler Stop. And we had Thruston IPA. Gilligan is Still Dead. Guava Saison. We had a Saison. What was it called? I don't know. A Grisette. It was Simple Life Grisette. And then we had Sunnyside, and the whole back of the store was just decked out in Sunnyside stuff, the blue and yellow. It was really amazing. And we launched it, and we had a huge turnout. Again, back in the 2016, craft beer was still really growing leaps and bounds, and people came out to Summerhill to try this new Session IPA. It was quite a thing. And every year we'd launch it again at the LCBO, or we'd move it to a bar or restaurant. We did one at the Pint one year downtown Toronto. But this year, we're finally doing our province-wide celebration of Sunnyside. So first things first, Sharla, what is Sunny Day?
Well, it is a province-wide celebration of Sunnyside. So we're
in sync on this. All right.
So we have a lot of, as you said, we have a lot of fans of Sunnyside Session IPA. It's a lot of people's favorite summertime beer, including a lot of our staff. So we really wanted to make kind of this province-wide, like all across Ontario, celebration where everybody can have a Sunnyside, get together as a community, have multiple events at multiple venues, have a whole bunch of like first taste, first tappings at a bunch of bars and restaurants. We really just wanted to make this a celebration, a whole day celebration of this beer.
Yeah, and you marketing folk over at GLB, this is how you guys describe it. That is, it's a celebration of our Sunnyside Session IPA release. We're bringing the sunshine to a tap near you with launches in bars across the province, parties at both GLB locations, a GLB bar and bottle shop pop-up, which we want to talk more about that. We figured that this annual release is worthy of more than just putting this sunshine in a glass out into the world, so we decided to make an entire day around it. You guys are good. So let's talk about some of the events. So let's talk first. Let's go to the headquarters, the brewery event. What are we doing on April 4th?
On April 4th, we're going to have a Son of a Beach bash.
Son of a beach.
Son of a beach. So every event is kind of beachy, summery themed. This one is a Son of a Beach with some live music by Chris Stagg. He's going to be playing some summery music. I don't know exactly
what summer, like Jack Johnson, Donovan Frankenritter.
That's the vibe I'm getting from our
some Jimmy Buffett
manager,
maybe. Yeah.
We're gonna have Tropical South there. They're gonna have some Cuban sandwiches to
some cubanos.
Yeah, to snack on. And then we also have kind of a promo where anybody who's wearing a Hawaiian shirt will get a complimentary pour of Sunnyside Session IPA.
And I'm sure we're going to be a little liberal with that. If it has any floral pattern on it,
palm trees, flamingos, butterflies.
Maybe a hop, because my floral or my Hawaiian shirt is just a big hop shirt, so maybe I'll wear that day. But so that's at the brewery.
Yeah, that starts at April 5. Yeah,
5 o'clock.
5 p.m.
And so just if you're listening in, obviously April 4th is a Friday, and again, like I said, we're going to have stuff all across the province. Kegs are going to be tapped at bars and restaurants. But at the brewery, we say one day, but this is going to probably trickle into a couple days of just really fun sunshine out on the patio drinking Sunnyside. Because when we launch it at the brewery, which is on April 4th, we're launching cans and cases. They sell out pretty fast.
They do.
So what would you recommend to someone on April 4th for the brewery?
Come early.
Yeah, come early. Come early and stay for the beach bash. The Son of a Beach bash. Okay, down at the Brew Pub at 11 Lower Jarvis, they're also planning something fun. And this sounds really cool. Like everything sounds cool, but this one sounds cool. So what are they doing now at the Brew Pub?
So they are having a luau style party. They're going to be having live music starting at 6 p.m. by Astro Surf.
Astro Surf.
Astro
Surf. See, on my thing, I put Astro Turf. But,
no.
Yep, okay.
It's surf Astro, but also surf music.
Probably like California vibes.
Kind of vibes. Yep. Then we're also going to have a special menu there. It's going to be kind of a Hawaiian themed menu. I hear that there's going to be a pineapple hollowed out with fried rice in it. And potentially ceviche. So
you've ate at the Brew Pub before. Stupid question. How are you looking forward to this menu?
Oh my goodness.
Because Krishna, the chef, is just amazing.
Her food is great.
So that starts at 6 o'clock at the luau at the Brew Pub.
Yes.
Perfect. And kegs aren't going to be tapped at the Brew Pub until April 4th as well.
They're
not tapping it early. You got to wait till April 4th. Now, I want to talk about the GLB pop-up shop and bar.
Sunny Nights.
Sunny Nights, that's what it's called?
That's what it's called. So it's that one's more of kind of this like kind of beer lounge, 80s themed. It's going to be it's actually going all weekend. So they're going to have a bottle shop available all weekend.
A bottle shop, so it means like cans to go.
Yes, not
amazing.
bottles. It's a can shop, really.
Yeah, no, they still, everyone calls it bottle shop still, even though they hardly sell bottles anymore, but.
Yeah, so you can, so it's at 789 Dundas Street West.
789 Dundas Street West.
Yep.
Perfect.
So,
okay.
Yep. So you can show up. You can buy some beers to go. You can stay and hang around, have some Sunnyside there. There's going to be live music on the Friday by Honey Locust.
Okay.
There's also going to be some kind of snacky type food.
So with the pop-up shop, this is something else we've really wanted to do for a long time. And I don't know, we're just so busy all the time, but this year we're actually making it happen. We rented an empty storefront. We're going to convert it into a GLB bar and bottle shop. It's going to look Great Lakes. It's going to have tons of Sunnyside in it. We're really ramping up for this one. And I'm really excited. It's a chill at an 80s themed.
Yeah.
Doing an 80s theme, kind of like a Miami.
Kind of Miami.
Nice. Okay.
Neon lights, that kind of.
And so the hours are kind of all over the place. So where can someone get more information on that one?
So if you just go to our website, greatlakesbeer.com, you'll see a sunny day banner and link. And if you click on that, all of the events are there. You can look up all of the hours, locations, and what's going on.
Awesome. So, and then the last one, venues across Ontario. From what I understand, we're going to have 40 bars and restaurants.
At least
All across Ontario that are tapping Sunnyside on April 4th.
Yes. Your first taste across Ontario going to be at these bars and restaurants. And we have a map. We have an interactive map. So if you'd like to try some Sunnyside, you don't live here in Toronto, you want to know where to get some April 4th, go to the website, scroll to the bottom, you'll see the interactive map. You'll be able to find some Sunnyside near you.
And not only are you going to find the Sunnyside, but it's going to be poured into a pretty special glass. We have our own
Sunnyside glass, which you can also buy online if you'd like to.
It's always Sunnyside Session IPA time, right?
Yeah,
that's what we're saying on the glass. So you can find those at the participating bars and restaurants. Nice tin tackers. We have that stuff available too. We have some T-shirts. Wow, this is a big sales pitch. It's our own podcast. We can do it. We can do whatever we want. If you're still listening, just go buy the stuff. Okay, please keep us employed. Okay, but those 40 venues, they're all tapping it on April 4th. So whenever they open, those bars are going to have the first kegs in all of Ontario. So as Sharla said, go to the map, check it out. If you don't live in Toronto, don't worry. We got places all across the province that are going to be doing it.
Yep.
So, okay, Sharla, before you go, can you answer some questions for me?
I sure can.
Okay. If I asked you what does Sunnyside Session IPA mean to you, what would you say?
Sunnyside to me, it's like a picture. I imagine beers on the balcony, beers on the beach, beers on a boat. If you have a boat,
you must live in a condo if you say beers on the balcony.
Yeah. Beers after work on a Friday on the patio with your colleagues. Like that's Sunnyside. That's like what the summer looks like.
Give me one word to describe Sunnyside.
I want to say sunshine, but I feel like
that's a good one.
It's overused, but I'm going to go with sunshine anyway.
What sunny day event? Well, and you're going to be busy. Are you going to try to hit as many as you can on April 4th?
I'm going to try. If I could transport myself across Ontario at every bar and restaurant, I would. We're
going to get the jets and the flying car or whatever, and you're going to go to everything. But what if you had to pick one? Which one are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, man. I'm actually really excited about this launch across Ontario. I mean, we have places that are going to be tapping Sunnyside from Goderich to Ottawa to Kingston, London. So, it's going to be everywhere. So I'm really excited that we're going to be spreading some sunshine across the province.
As I crack my second one here, Mike Boone's actually going to have looks like another one. They're so easy drinking. They're so easy drinking. Do you have any fun Sunnyside stories to tell?
Fun Sunnyside stories. Let me think. There was once where I found a can of Sunnyside that was, I want to say almost a year old. And I was like, I'm going to try it. I cracked it and tried it. It was delicious. tasted. Yep.
That's all
It
good
was
and stuff.
super-
But folks listening, we're all fresh GLB.
We're all fresh GLB. This was, I found it. Like, I didn't know I even had it.
So when Sunnyside comes out for me, I put it, like I'll have cases at home, but my beer fridge is actually completely emptied out and Sunnyside goes in. So I know I'm not going to miss a Sunnyside at the back of
That's
the fridge.
a good plan.
I
think
switch
might try
things
that.
around.
That's true.
Okay. Now I understand you want to ask me some questions.
Now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn.
All
because
right.
what you're in store for here in a second, listeners, again, if you're still following along, our staff are going to answer some questions. So you're just going to hear a bunch of staff at the brewery in a pre-recorded messaging. They're gonna answer these questions as well. So I'm ready for this. If I have to make them do it,
You gotta do it.
I gotta do it.
All right, Troy. What does Sunnyside Session IPA mean to you?
So everyone keeps talking about like spring, summer. To me, it's like baseball. Baseball's back. I know when Sunnyside's back, baseball's back. So the Jays, March 27th, home opener against my team, Baltimore Orioles. And it's going to be, hopefully the weather's great. That means backyard. I bring out the TV, watch baseball in the backyard, and drink Sunnyside.
You bring your TV outside?
I have a different TV, like a shitty one. We're plugging the Prime or whatever, or the Fire Stick, and watch baseball. And I stay out back and just, as long as the weather's good. But that's where Sunnyside, that's what it means to me.
All right. Give me one word to describe Sunnyside.
I'm going to go with baseball again.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
All summer long. Every baseball tournament. I coach rep baseball. Every baseball tournament on the road, everywhere. For staying in a hotel, I bring the Sunnyside for the crew. Not for the kids. for the parents.
Okay. What sunny day event are you looking forward to most?
Diplomatically, the only cafe on the Danforth. I don't know if you've heard of it. Fabian Skidmore used to work there.
Really?
Do you know that? Yeah.
No way.
He probably has never said that before. But I love the only cafe. It's my bar. It's the one place in the world that I love more than anything bar wise. So I'm going to go there for a bunch of pints. But I'm going to start at the brewery. Going to go to the brew pub. I'm not driving this day. And then I'm going to go to the only cafe. So I'm looking forward to everything. Then on Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to pop into the bottle shop.
Nice. Yeah.
The pop-up.
Yeah. And do you have any fun Sunnyside Session IPA stories?
So I had to think hard about this one because there's so many. But when we first launched this, after a while, if you look on the new can, which came out about 2 years ago, like the can artwork, we made a bad decision, in my opinion. So I'm going to kind of throw myself under the bus here. We took the socks off of Roland Baggetts. He used to be Socks and Sandals. And people used to take pictures for social of drinking Sunnyside with socks and sandals on. And they would send those to me all the time. And I used to love that. And we held a photo contest. It was probably 2017 that year, our 30th anniversary. We were giving away a lot of things on social. And people were sending in all these pictures of drinking Sunnyside in little kiddie pools, with out on the kayak, everything around water. But the socks and sandals one were always the best ones. I always loved those.
Well, we might get that again. I feel like socks and sandals are back.
Well, these were like, Velcro sandals.
Oh,
and,
great.
like
Even
slides, not.
So everybody,
whatever.
please send us your socks and sandals, Sunnyside.
And they have to be black socks and sandals. Yeah, too.
Very
and not
specific.
pulled up. Yeah. Well, thanks for enlightening us with all this info, Sharla. Now, go get some rest because April 4th, you're going to be busy. And that's it? Yeah.
I guess so.
All right.
Yep, will do.
All right. Okay. We're going to listen to a quick Roland Baggetts message again, and then we're going to come back with some voices from the staff. Hang tight.
Well, how's ya doodle? Roland Baggetts here, rolling solo down here at Sunnyside Beach. I'd likes to get here nice and early to grabs me some prime sandy real estate. I lays out me towel, slather myself liberally with tannin butter, and soak in some tasty vitamin D. Speaking of tasty, looky in me cooler box. A whole gaggle of Sunnyside Session IPA. Big on the taste, low on the alcohol. A springtime, summertime, anytime treat, and a permanent staple in the grips of me fingers. Oh, and check out the can to see a brand new me. Been lifting some iron to boost me biceps, triceps, and me deltoids. You know what they say, sun's out, guns out. Work your tan and crack a can of Sunnyside Session IPA.
All right. Now, I mentioned earlier that Sunnyside is a favorite with the team here at the brewery. Even Fabian Skidmore, he worked at the Only. Did you know that, Sharla?
Not at all.
Fabian Skidmore is a Canuck drinker. That's all he drinks. Every day. That's all he drinks. But when Sunnyside comes back, that's the one beer he allows himself to cheat on Canuck with. So the staff love it and tend to move to this brand when it's released, then weep when it disappears in September. So a podcast episode about Sunnyside and Sunny Day wouldn't be complete without hearing directly from a number of the crew. So I took the mic, and it's not the best mic, but I tried, and sat down with a bunch of terrific GLB folk to get their thoughts on the beer and capture their stories. Here you go. Hi, Jen Reinhardt.
Hello.
And what do you do at the brewery?
I'm the senior sales manager for the retail side of sales here at Great Lakes.
What does that mean?
I manage LCBO, grocery, beer store, and now convenience.
People would know that because you are already on Between Two Fermenters. If you scroll down, you'll see the episode with Jen. Definitely check that out.
Yeah, it was fun to do.
So what does Sunnyside Session IPA mean to you?
For me, it really brings on the start of warmer days. The sunshine is here. It's like spring is coming, and I have a lot to look forward to. That's what sunny means to me.
That's a good answer. If you had one word to describe Sunnyside, what would it be?
Delicious.
What sunny day event are you looking forward to the most?
Well, there's a lot of great events, but I think for me, I'm looking forward to the enhanced tasting at the LCBO near Bay and Bloor between 4 and 8.
What day is that?
That is April 4th.
Duh, because April 4th is?
Sunny day.
Sunny day.
We're going to have tasty treats from the brew pub, and I will be there. I haven't actually done an LCBO tasting since my earlier days at Great Lakes back in 2015, so I'm really excited to get out 10 years later and just meet the public and
This is going to be fun.
It's going to be so fun.
Do you have any fun Sunnyside Session IPA stories?
I think I have a lot of fun stories, but really, for me, Sunnyside is the ultimate summer poolside or dockside beer. So when I think about drinking Sunnyside and fun, I'm thinking about times at the cottage or, by my friends' pools. It's the first beer I think of when thinking of those summer fun events.
Awesome. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Hello, Isaiah. What do you do at the brewery?
I work in the inside sales for the retail channel.
Exciting. Let me ask you a question. What does Sunnyside Session IPA mean to you?
It means the start of spring, the start of patio season, and just enjoying beers outside again.
And if you had one word to describe Sunnyside Session IPA, what would it be?
I would say bright. It's a bright can, bright color of the beer, bright taste, and just brightens your day up overall.
Now, if I had to ask you, what sunny day event are you looking forward to the most, what would you say?
I'd say just Hurricanes is a block away from my house, so...
What's Hurricanes?
Hurricanes Roadhouse restaurant.
Okay, so a bar, a pub.
Bar.
And you're looking forward to having a pint of Sunnyside there.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, you're there. All right. What do you do at the brewery, Fabian Skidmore?
I am the art director.
Fancy, fancy title. What does Sunnyside Session IPA mean to you?
It means I get to drink something other than Canuck.
Do you actually do it?
I actually do, yeah.
Give me one word to describe Sunnyside Session IPA.
Refreshing.
And a permanent staple in the grips of me fingers.
Hi.
What sunny day event are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to hanging out right here after work on the Friday for the son of a beach?
I thought you were going to say the only cafe, because you used to work there, right?
No.
Castro's?
No.
Do you have any fun Sunnyside Session IPA stories you want to tell?
I really enjoyed learning about the artwork on the Sunnyside Pavilion. It's what inspired the art on the label. The original label was, we didn't even know what the beer was, but we wanted to call it Sunnyside, and we used the pavilion artwork, the yellow and blue artwork in the archway as inspiration.
Hello, Andrew Mora. How are you?
Doing well, Troy. How are you?
Great, thanks. What do you do for the brewery?
Retail Territory Manager, GTA West.
Attaboy. What does Sunnyside Session IPA mean to you?
What does Sunnyside mean to me? For me, Sunnyside is new beginnings. I started with Great Lakes in 2019 in April, and Sunnyside was the beer they were releasing at the time. For me, it just meant a fresh start, starting at a new brewery, enjoying a new role.
With a great beer. Give me one word to describe Sunnyside Session IPA.
The best word to describe Sunnyside is joy.
What sunny day event are you looking forward to the most?
The sunny day event I'm looking forward to the most is the LCBO Enhanced Consumer Tasting we're doing at Bloor and Royal York LCBO. Come see me as I hand out fresh Sunnyside samples.
Nice. Thanks, Andrew.
No problem, Troy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Boyd, and I'm a sales rep for Great Lakes Beer. I got the GTA and the western side of it. Sunnyside. What does Sunnyside mean to me? Well, it means summer is here. It means that I happen to live near High Park. It means I'm going to be in High Park as much as possible. Bring some Sunnysides with me, walk my dogs, hang out with my wife, and enjoy the sunshine. My one word to describe Sunnyside Session IPA is party. Party, because the party is here with Sunnyside. What sunny day event am I looking forward to the most? I happen to have some great accounts that are participating in Sunny Day, and I plan to hit as many of them as possible, all of them probably. But I'll be definitely at Bryden's. There'll probably be some other GLB people there because it's a real hangout for us. And we'll be ordering Sunnyside and maybe some nachos to go with it. I got a fun story about Sunnyside. Yeah, it's a great story, actually. Great memory. 2017, I wasn't working in beer at the time, but my friends and I, we loved craft beer. We were really a big fan of Great Lakes, and my friend Mark Towns asked me to be his best man, and his wedding party was up in a little town called Douro near Peterborough, and Mark asked me to bring some craft beer from Toronto up, and I went to GLB and I picked up 10 cases of Sunnyside, 10 cases of Canuck. And I'd like to think it was those beers going back and forth between a Canuck and a Sunnyside all night that allowed me to deliver the greatest best man speech in the history of best man speeches. And it's all thanks to Sunnyside. So, I owe it a lot of my memories of the evening to being able to enjoy some Sunnysides and have a great time with my best friends. Thanks.
Hello, Mr. Mike Lackey, the guy who invented Sunnyside Session IPA. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks, Troy. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks for asking. What does Sunnyside Session IPA mean to you?
It means a lot to me, Troy. Growing up, I spent a lot of time there as a kid, swimming, spending time on the beach. Later in life, took to having bonfires down there with high school friends. A few beers were maybe consumed, and we always had a fun time down at Old Sunnyside.
Well, speaking of fun, do you have any fun Sunnyside Session IPA stories?
I sure do, Troy. Every year, thanks for asking, by the way.
No problem.
Friends get together on the first Blue Jay game, which happens to be next Thursday. We have our first keg of Sunnyside and hot dogs, kind of a hot dog eating contest. So always fun, good kickoff for summer, And no better way to do it than with a Sunnyside Session IPA.
Go Jays go with Sunnyside Session IPA. Thanks, man.
All right, buddy.
I hate this.
Cassie Knowles Granger, how are you?
Hi there, I'm good.
What do you do at the brewery?
I am the Internal Experiences and Partnerships Coordinator.
And what does Sunnyside Session IPA mean to you?
Sunnyside Session IPA means to me having a beer on the patio after work with my awesome coworkers.
Suck up. Give me one word to describe Sunnyside Session IPA.
Delicious.
Oh, copycat too. What sunny day event are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to the one that I'm hosting.
What is that one?
The Brewery Beach Bash. That's taking place Friday evening. We're going to have some live music, some sunny vibes, and then we're also having Cuban sandwiches.
And there's a rumor that Fabian Skidmore is going to show up in a Speedo. Can you confirm or deny that?
I did hear that as well, so...
Tiara Gordon, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. What do you do at Great Lakes?
I'm the inside sales supervisor.
Exciting. What does Sunnyside Session IPA mean to you?
It means the start of spring. The sun's coming out, patios are open, it's time to go.
I see a recurring theme here from all Great Lakes staff, but if you had one word to describe Sunnyside, what would it be?
Definitely crushable.
Oh, that's my answer. That's a good one. What sunny day event are you looking forward to the most?
I'm really looking forward to hitting the patio at Hurricanes, one of the licensees we have.
Amazing. And do you have any fun Sunnyside Session IPA stories you want to share?
Well, I started here at Great Lakes Brewery in July, and I just remember the first time hitting the patio here at the brewery and seeing about 10 of our staff members with a nice pint of Sunny with them.
So it won you over?
It definitely did.
Nice. Thank you, Tiara.
Hello, my name is Lee Ecclestone. I am the Southwestern Ontario GLB licensee sales rep. My one word to best describe Sunnyside would be refreshing. Nothing better than cracking a cold Sunnyside on a hot summer day on a golf course somewhere. My sunny day events that I'm looking forward to the most would be walking down to my favorite local pub, the Woolly, having a pint there, and then making my way down to another great local in Guelph called the Witchcraft. Both will be pouring Sunnyside on April 4th. My favorite Sunnyside story to tell you guys would be my next door neighbor is from Ingolstadt, Germany, and she's going to be sending her family to Rittmeyer Brewery when Rittmeyer releases our Sunnyside over in Germany in the next coming months. So I'm looking forward to hearing her stories from her family and how they're going to enjoy it over in Germany as well. All right, take care. Bye.
And that's it. That's all, folks. Episode 32, It's Always Sunnyside, has moved from the mash tun to the fermenters. Today's episode was obviously fueled by cans of Sunnyside Session IPA, which you can find right now all over Ontario at the beer store, LCBO, select grocery stores, convenience stores, and on April 4th at both GLB retail stores, which is launching to kick off Sunny Day. Cans will also be online at Great Lakes Beer Shop as of April 3rd, and you can visit the brewery at 30 Queen Elizabeth Boulevard in Etobicoke or grab some delicious eats and fresh pours at our brew pub at 11 Lower Jarvis Street in Toronto. You know what they say, sun's out, guns out, work your tan and crack a can of Sunnyside Session IPA. If you have any content you'd love to hear us discuss on the show, guest ideas, or just want to tell us what you're drinking, drop us a line at podcast@greatlakesbeer.com. Until next time, please remember to keep tipping your glass of fresh GLB in the right direction. Supporting local never tasted so good.
To learn more about what's happening at Great Lakes Brewery, visit greatlakesbeer.com and subscribe to our weekly newsletter or follow Great Lakes Beer on your favorite social media platforms.